Welcome, everyone, and thank you for joining today's deep dive of Atlassian Compass. Compass is a powerful tool designed to streamline software development processes by providing a unified view of your component architecture. Whether you're working across multiple teams or dealing with complex systems, Compass ensures everything stays connected. Compass is a central hub for tracking the different components in your software. With its catalog feature, you can easily manage microservices, APIs, and libraries across teams. Its activity feed keeps everyone informed about changes, deployments, and incidents, while integrated metrics allow you to monitor the health of each component. Compass integrates seamlessly with other Atlassian products like Jira for issue tracking, Bitbucket for source code management, and Opsgenie for incident response. Compass is perfect for DevOps teams and software developers who need better visibility into the component architectures, collaboration across teams, and faster feedback loops. By using Compass, teams can reduce bottlenecks, improve collaboration, and get a clearer picture of their systems. Now let's dive deeper into its features. To set the context for this presentation, let me introduce the story of a regional leader in the e-commerce market. This company isn't just moving products off the shelves, they're managing a high-stakes digital operation where hundreds of products are sold and shipped every minute. Enter Max Taylor. Max is one of many engineers creating the seamless digital experience that millions of customers enjoy every day. But Max is dealing with significant challenges: a sophisticated sprawling architecture, multiple teams working in parallel, and ever-changing requirements that make his job even more complex. In his environment, Max has a secret weapon, Atlassian Compass. It helps him manage component sprawl, work seamlessly across teams, and keep up with evolving requirements. After a recent sprint planning meeting, Max is assigned an important task: enhancing mobile support for digital signatures in the company's mobile app. To deliver on this, Max and his team conduct a technical alignment where they identify two key steps for this task. First, Max needs to enhance the API to accommodate this new feature. Second, he needs to determine which software component the work should fall under. With Atlassian Compass, Max can easily view all of the development information related to this Jira issue, like commits and pull requests, in one place. But more than that, Compass allows Max to dive deeper. He can see the link to the software component and begin exploring its technical details through the component catalog. This gives Max a much better understanding of the work ahead, ensuring he's fully aligned with the component's architecture and any technical requirements before he begins. Max's next step is the component catalog, where he begins by navigating to the Magnetic API. Here, Compass gives Max an in-depth overview of the component, its purpose, dependencies, and how it fits into the broader architecture. The power of Compass really comes into play as Max and his team use it to model their software architecture. They can see all the relationships between microservices, APIs, and other components. This makes navigating through the complex engineering environment much easier. In addition, Compass provides a major benefit: the seamless integration of work tracking and output tracking. Max can track his development progress and immediately see how it impacts the overall system. Now, within the component catalog, Max can see crucial details about the Magnetic API component. He can check who owns the component, meaning which team is responsible for its maintenance and development. Compass even allows Max to dive deeper into the team information, so he knows who to reach out to if any issues arise. Moreover, Max can easily review all on-call schedules from Opsgenie, which are essential for addressing real-time issues. With these examples, it's clear how the toolchain comes together seamlessly as part of the component catalog. This creates an organized environment where everything related to a component, from ownership to on-call support, is centralized. Now, the major benefit here is that the component catalog serves as a single source of truth. It provides a quick snapshot of key information, helping Max stay on top of his work and respond more efficiently to issues. For Max, one of the most important things is knowing where to navigate when he needs to extend or modify this API. And of course, all this work happens in a repository. Now, in Compass, the corresponding repository is linked directly within the component. Max can now see where the coding work is actually done, and from here, he can make code changes based on the information provided in the catalog. Compass supports integration with a variety of source code management tools, such as Bitbucket Cloud, GitHub, GitLab, and Azure DevOps. Now, this flexibility ensures that no matter what SCM tool is used, it fits seamlessly into your development landscape. The benefits are clear. Max can quickly understand where the development work is taking place, and the open tool chain allows for easy integration with many different SCM tools, ensuring an efficient workflow. In Compass, projects in work are often tracked in Jira. Max can seamlessly jump between Jira and Compass, but this navigation can work in the opposite direction as well. Next to the repositories, you can track work that's connected with your components. When it comes to documentation, such as runbooks or guides related to the API, Max can jump straight into the knowledge base from Compass. This reduces complexity, centralizing all the critical information in one place. Additionally, you can link Opsgenie services or any dynamic dashboards to stay on top of alerts and incidents. For example, by linking a service definition in Opsgenie, you can notify the team in case of any operational issues. With all the necessary links and documentation centralized, your developers will have everything they need about the component in a single place. Now, this setup gives a holistic view of the software component, connecting it to other parts of your tool chain and integrating smoothly with alerting and incident management tools. So not only does Compass provide detailed information about the component itself, but it also keeps you up to date with the relevant activity happening around the component. For instance, you'll get a snapshot of activities such as deployments, whether they failed or successfully passed. This allows Max to quickly gauge the health and performance of his components at any given time. Now, with this feature, you can quickly get insights into the dynamic aspects of the component lifecycle. By seeing what's working and what might need attention, it ensures you stay on top of your component's ongoing performance. Okay, so let's say you're deploying this particular API several times a day or several times a week. In this case, deployment frequency becomes a key indicator for your team. Since your repository is connected through Compass, you automatically get this information without any manual overhead. Because the toolchain is fully integrated, you can pull in this data directly from your source code repository or CI/CD tool without needing to glue different solutions together. The same applies to tracking open pull requests, incidents associated with the component, or build time. Now, one of the most powerful features is that metrics are fully customizable. You can create new ones based on what's most important to your team and configure them to monitor the operational health of your component, giving you complete control over the insights you need. Of course, Max isn't just working on a single component. His software architecture is made up of many interrelated components. With Compass, Max can dive deeper into the surroundings of the Magnetic API and explore its dependencies. This is crucial because understanding dependencies is often the first step towards finding your way out of the jungle of complex systems. It's also the path toward delivering new features or capabilities. With this comprehensive understanding, Max can quickly navigate through the broader architecture and uncover how a feature or capability is broken into multiple software components. Compass makes it easy to map out and navigate this complexity. Max can now visualize the relevant architecture blocks that the Magnetic API interacts with. This helps him understand how changes to the API might affect other components in the architecture. And of course, Max can navigate through this web of relationships. With numerous relationships between components, it's essential for Max to see how they impact each other, especially when events like failed builds or deployments occur. Now, by visualizing these connections, Max gains a better understanding of how the architecture fits together and what he needs to be aware of when making any changes. Compass allows him to avoid issues by making sure he understands the broader picture. Now, some of the changes that Max deals with might be announced ahead of time to the rest of the team. This is where announcements come into play. It's a common scenario where a library that you depend on gets upgraded and certain capabilities are depreciated, requiring you to adapt. From the announcements, Max can see if there are any relevant issues coming from the dependencies he relies on. For example, there might be an announcement about upcoming connection limits, and the teams can acknowledge this so they can plan their work accordingly. With these proactive updates, Max is able to stay informed about any upcoming changes and adapt proactively. This helps him and his team plan their work effectively, ensuring they don't run into unexpected issues. As Max is updating the API, which could impact other teams, he needs their acknowledgement. Using Compass, Max can create an announcement to inform teams that a new capability will be introduced, specifically relevant to mobile apps. Max can provide a description of the update for downstream components, detailing how the new capability could affect other parts of the system. He can also indicate a release date for this change, allowing teams to prepare and, if needed, adapt their systems accordingly. So this helps ensure that all teams are informed and aligned, so no critical updates are missed and everyone can make adjustments based on their relevance. Now, besides announcements, which help streamline communication and planning, the activities around the components are just as important. This part gives a deeper dive into the activities that were shown in the component overview screen. While you might not need to worry about these activities when starting on a new feature, they become very relevant once the feature moves to production. You'll want to see all the deployments related to your component and also keep an eye on how your dependencies are performing. This allows you to gain a holistic overview of the key lifecycle events, both for the component and for the dependencies it interacts with. In cases where there's interconnected work or potential operational issues, this information will help your team streamline communication and collaborate more effectively. Now, the beauty of Compass is that it allows Max and the team to manage all of this in a config as code format. This means that the component definition, metadata, and anything else that might be relevant can be stored directly next to where the code lives in a code repository. All of this information is captured in a YAML file that sits in the Magnetic API repository. If there are additional dependencies or if Max needs to introduce a new one, he can create it directly in the code repository. Thanks to Compass's pre-built integration, these changes are automatically reflected in the component catalog. With this setup, the cognitive load for developers is reduced as the tools are connected, and all the information needed to understand the component and get the job done is readily available in one place. But what happens if your component catalog isn't populated yet? How do you get started? Luckily, Compass makes it easy to import new components from the connected toolchain. There are several import options available, both first-party and third-party, that will help you quickly get up to speed with your catalog. For example, you can select Bitbucket Import, where components are created based on repositories in your Bitbucket organization. Each repository reflects a component. Since you're using Jira software and have connected development tools, you can forward that information to Compass and create components in a similar way. Or if any services are represented in Jira Service Management, you can easily import them as components in Compass too. With these import options, you can quickly populate your component catalog and get up to speed with Compass. Now, the next important capability that Max and his team are interested in is the overall engineering health of their outputs and components, and that's where scorecards come in. Scorecards are a key part of Compass and serve as a way to measure and track the health of components and the work being done. They provide insights into areas that need attention, ensuring that the engineering process stays on track. Moreover, scorecards play an important role in promoting a healthy engineering culture. By regularly assessing the health of their outputs, Max and his team can continuously improve their processes and maintain high standards across the board. Compass offers a range of predefined metrics that are essential for measuring the health of your software components. These include key indicators like build success rate, cycle time, and deployment frequency, all of which can be automatically populated when Compass is connected to Bitbucket. Once integrated, these metrics are continuously updated, giving you real-time insights into your system's performance without the need for manual input. This allows teams to easily track the health of components, ensuring smoother operations and faster identification of potential issues. So once you have your metrics defined, or if you want to create custom metrics, you can combine this information into a scorecard. In Compass, scorecards are a set of criteria that you apply to a component to measure its health. Each criterion, like adding a component owner team or including documentation, is assigned a score. All the criteria together add up to 100%, and the current percentage represents the component's health score. Now, scorecards provide strong guidance to encourage the adoption of practices that improve your organization's DevOps processes. They serve as a framework for ensuring that software components are healthy and that teams are following recommended best practices. Not only do scorecards show you the current health of a component, but they also highlight areas that need improvement, helping you automate the evaluation of key health indicators and cultivate a culture of engineering excellence. So let's take a look at one example of a scorecard. In this case, DevOps health has been defined as a scorecard, and each scorecard can be attached to multiple components. Now, when a scorecard is attached to components, you get two key benefits. First, Max and his team know exactly what they need to do and what's expected when they are working on a specific component. For example, they know that the deployment frequency should not be compromised and the pull request cycle time should be kept below a certain threshold. Second, this helps teams track and measure their progress, making it easier to identify areas for improvement. It also creates a sense of accountability within the team. When everyone can see both their individual and collective performance, they're more likely to take ownership of their work and strive for excellence. Additionally, the visibility of progress promotes transparency, making sure all team members are aligned and aware of where they stand. On the other hand, for Max's engineering manager or leadership team, scorecards provide a snapshot of the health of the entire software system. When a scorecard is attached to several different components, leadership can easily see how all the components lined up against the standards. You'll notice that some components are passing while others need attention, and a few may even be failing. This enables engineering managers to focus their attention on the components that need it most, particularly those failing specific criteria. In short, scorecards are a powerful mechanism to build a healthy and stable engineering culture, embedding governance without creating unnecessary overhead for developers. They provide data and metrics that inform the decision-making process, helping leadership with resource allocation, prioritization, and process improvements. Of course, Compass gives you full flexibility when defining a specific scorecard. You can decide to which component type the scorecard should be applied, and even whether it should be mandatory for all components or only for certain ones. This gives you the control to ensure scorecards are aligned with your team's needs. You can also configure which metrics you want to evaluate and how much weight each one should have relative to the others. For example, you might prioritize deployment frequency or build success rate more heavily, depending on what's most important for your team's performance. Now, this full configurability allows you to measure the health indicators that matter most to your engineering team, and it gives you the ability to focus on the areas that need the most attention. Now, let's shift focus to the teams, because behind every component, it's the people who are making everything happen. In Atlassian, a team is a platform-wide concept that represents a collection of Atlassian accounts for the team members. Compass leverages this by assigning teams the responsibility for building, maintaining, and ensuring the smooth functioning of components. Teams in Compass are dynamic, meaning that people can move in and out of a team or even your organization as needed. This allows you to form teams in a way that best aligns with your organization's structure and collaboration style. This platform-wide team concept ensures that accountability and ownership are clear, while also facilitating easier collaboration across components and projects. Excuse me. For example, a team in Compass could include engineers, an engineering lead, a product manager, and support personnel responsible for a component. Compass enables you to track and manage the team's collective output. The team's dashboard provides all the insights you need about the team, such as their name, members, description, and the components they own. From this dashboard, you can easily find the team's owner, view the component activity feed, check the scorecard performance, and navigate to their Atlassian team's profile. You can also view and edit team labels, assign or remove components from the team's ownership, and review checkops actions the team needs to take. But while productivity and shipping software faster is important, Compass also focuses on fostering a healthy engineering culture, promoting the well-being of teams, ensuring that they build sustainable and reliable software. Now, checkops is a weekly practice your team can implement to gain a better understanding of the operational health of your components and improve your team's operations over time. Checkops involves filling out a weekly reflection form as a team. This form allows you to review your components' recent activity, check their scorecard scores, and track any improvements you've made. It's a great opportunity to focus on components with failing scorecards and figuring out which criteria are falling short so you can create action items to address those issues. In addition to component performance, teams can also discuss how they felt about their operations this week by selecting an option like horrible, bad, okay, good, or amazing from the listed moods. Finally, you can reflect on the questions under team reflections, recording your responses in the provided text boxes. When a checkops is completed, an email is sent to the team to keep everyone in the loop. So once your team completes the checkops, it is added to the most recent checkops page. Any actions created during the checkops session will also appear in your team's dashboard for follow-up and completion. Checkoffs can be completed only once per week, and for engineering leaders overseeing multiple teams, the weekly checkoffs for all teams will roll up to provide a comprehensive view of team performance. Leads can use this data to identify patterns, such as repetitive issues or gaps across different teams, and take action to address these problems. This approach helps leaders gain a deeper understanding of how their teams are performing and where improvements are needed. Now, a big part of building a healthy and sustainable engineering culture is sharing best practices. That's why Compass introduces templates. In short, templates enable your software delivery teams to create new components with best practices already baked in. These templates represent a new component type in Compass, allowing you to encapsulate your organization's tech stack in preferred configurations, such as default pipeline configurations for new software components. If you're starting a new API or front-end application, for example, you don't have to start from scratch. You can use a template. Templates provide consistency across teams by offering a standardized framework for engineering work. They also improve efficiency by saving time, and because they're customizable, they can be adapted to fit your organization's unique tech stack and provisioning process. Now, when creating a new template in Compass, you can define important details like the name, description, and owner team, much like you would for any other new component. Additionally, you can specify the source Git repository, for example, a Java Spring Boot template repository. This repository URL will be used to automatically fork the repository when new components are created from the template. In this way, you can create both a new repository and a linked Compass component, complete with all the necessary metadata in one easy transaction. By using templates, you can ensure that new components follow consistent configurations aligned with your company's best practices and predefined tech stack, which helps ensure efficiency and consistency across projects. Now, Compass templates also offer an option to specify a webhook URL. This allows you to automatically notify another part of your toolchain whenever a component is created from the template. So when you enter a URL here, Compass will send an HTTP post request with a JSON payload describing the new component after it's been created, along with the linked repository. Additionally, you have the option to add key value pairs to the template, which are passed along in the webhook event. This means you can customize the information shared in the webhook and use it for further automation. The webhook event is intended to allow you to continue orchestration or automation outside of Compass and other tools, providing more flexibility for your workflows in helping you automate and simplify the component creation process. With Compass, you can easily find the template you want to use and create a new component based on it. Once created, the component is immediately added to Compass, and the template repository is forked using the same name as the new component. This process also automatically initiates a CI/CD pipeline, providing the team with a spun-up code repository they can start working on the component right away, significantly speeding up development. This is just the first of many releases around the templates feature, with a few key enhancements on the way. These include the optional use of a templating engine to customize the forked repository, the ability to define custom web requests with headers and payloads, and the ability to keep components in sync when the template itself is updated. For example, if a library version is bumped in the template, a PR will automatically be open for all components created from that template. Now, Compass has an ecosystem around it with the Compass Marketplace, which you can use to build apps and create a developer experience platform that fits perfectly into your team's daily work. You'll find a lot of pre-built apps in the marketplace that connect to the repositories like Bitbucket and CI/CD tools that propagate events to Compass. The list is constantly growing, so you can choose from apps that are already available or build your own custom solutions. What's important to note is that everything you've seen in Compass is API enabled, supporting both GraphQL and REST. You have the option to build your own custom integrations using Atlassian's cloud-native app development platform, Forge. With these tools, you have endless possibilities for customization, empowering your teams to create a versatile developer experience platform. So here's some examples of how you can use apps within your Compass components. If your application is exposing a REST API, you can visualize this through Swagger. This integration allows someone to interact with the API directly in Compass, providing a convenient way to analyze different APIs without leaving the platform. Another example is if you have a status page up and running, showing the operational status of an API. With Compass, you can visualize the operational status right in the component view, so there's no need to jump between different tools. Using the Forge platform, you can also extend and customize your Compass instance, making it a truly personalized internal developer platform for your team. Excuse me. These examples highlight how easily you can extend the platform with pre-built or custom apps, enhancing your overall developer experience. And this is how Compass can bring the toolchain together, going beyond what's provided out of the box and helping you build a platform that truly makes your developers excited to work at your company. By creating a unified platform where all your tools, data, and workflows come together, Compass helps streamline development and enhance collaboration. With the ability to extend and customize through apps, you're not limited by the default product. You can build a tailored developer platform that fits your specific needs and fosters an engaged, productive engineering culture. And that's it. My name is Zach from Atlas Bench. Feel free to contact us if you have any questions about Atlassian Compass. We'd be happy to give you a free consultation and get you up and running. See you in the next one.